We are really happy here to organize a cultural and scientific event with our partner for Oxford University, and we have highly important guests with the Museum of Natural History and also the Oxford Botanical Garden. So here it's a good opportunity for us to cherish our partnership with them and to discuss about the challenges of botanical garden in the future, how this unique structure would be involved in the challenging of the climate change and also the biodiversity, and how the botanical garden can be used as an important tool as an educational support. So we are really happy today to inaugurate the rose trees that we planted here to symbolize the collaboration between Oxford University and Grenoble-Alpes University. I hope that in the future it will be bloom and it will symbolize in a good way this scientific and cultural collaboration between our universities.
Dominique Villard, qui a vécu au siècle des Lumières, est un médecin botaniste qui s'intéressait à de nombreux domaines et avait aussi cette approche plus moderne dans les soins envers les patients, en utilisant bien sûr, puisqu'il était directeur du Jardin Royal avant la Révolution, Jardin Royal qui s'est trouvé ici même dans cette faculté, puisque nous avons repris, donc sur le même site, ce jardin. Donc, et Dominique Villard quand même a fait la flore du Dauphiné, qui est toujours une référence. Il ne faut pas oublier que la flore du Dauphiné est la flore la plus riche de France. Nous voyons depuis des décennies un retour à la nature, le fait que les gens aimeraient mieux se soigner avec les plantes. Alors c'est pour les maux quotidiens, il est indéniable. Et le fait aussi, c'est qu'on a une démarche de développement durable, de respect de la biodiversité, ce qui était également le cas de Dominique Villard lorsqu'il allait chercher lui-même les plantes, comme nous le faisons, nous comme lui, les plantes dans la nature pour les amener au jardin botanique et expliquer l'usage des plantes médicinales et les risques toxicologiques. Alors c'est une démarche, oui, ethnobotanique et également patrimoniale. Ça, c'était vraiment important et c'est une première sur la région grenobloise d'avoir ce jardin 18e siècle avec donc, les textes en plus sur ces plantes utilisées à cette époque, ce qui a enrichi le couvent Sainte-Cécile. Et de plus, ça permet de comprendre l'évolution de la pensée médicale et du soin apporté aux patients au cours des siècles.
For me, two really important things to focus on is the role of a botanic garden in the face of climate change and future-proofing our collections, looking at research that supports horticultural industries, how do they prepare for the changing planet, and how do we protect the world's biodiversity. The second one, with the changing world, there's a real disinterest in younger populations with plants. Certainly in the UK, they're seen as these boring, ever-present organisms. And when we get those students into a botanic garden and we showcase the range of interesting things that they can be used for, show them plants they've never heard of or their ways of growing that they've never imagined, you can see these little sparks of interest ignite. And I think one of the best things that we can do to future-proof botany is to inspire the next generation of botanists. I think a lot of botanic gardens are relatively small institutions. There's not many staff in each place, and we all have a shared love of plants, and yet we want to share knowledge with our colleagues and learn from each other, and then take those learnings and make the most exciting resources and the most exciting plant collections that we can. So collaborations like this, for me, are an extremely useful tool to learn new skills, new stories, to see what you're doing that's really inspiring and interesting, and take those ideas home and test them out with our own audiences. And I really look forward to that relationship growing over the future.
So pharmacology usually is mostly pharmacology. There is not a lot of ethnology. Nina Etkin, an American ethnobotanist, studied the articles during some years and showed that it was mostly pharmacology. So I think it's very important to reintroduce ethnology in the approach, because we are interested not only in the pharmacological properties of herbs, but also symbolical, cultural, social efficacy, which is a very important component of the global efficacy of medicine.
We aim to inspire people when they come through our doors, to kind of inspire a love of the natural world and a curiosity in the natural world. And one of the most inspirational things we think is the T-Rex when you walk in our doors. And people are wowed by the T-Rex, but what they don't always think about is that T-Rex ate herbivores, and the herbivores ate plants. And so it just illustrates how important plants are to our entire ecosystem, whether that's in the Mesozoic or whether that is in our modern outdoor world. We do try to merge as much knowledge as we can. It always informs, has a greater power of information to merge our understanding of things, but also it gives us new understanding of our collections. So we're working with collections that we've had in some cases for 100 years or so, in some cases more like 400 years, and we always learn new things by understanding them through a different lens. And it also sheds kind of a community light on our objects that we may not have thought about from a research point of view.
So one of the Oxford University Museum of Natural History's strategic challenges is to enable everyone to reflect and make decisions on issues relating to their natural world in an informal and evidence-led manner. And so by communicating current research from the university, it helps us achieve that. We provide varied opportunities within the museum for our audiences to engage with university research. So this could be through exhibitions, displays, events. And these partnerships with the university departments allow a way for researchers to get their work out to the public. So it's vice versa. And it's a two-way relationship. And in our the issues facing our world at the moment, issues facing our planet with the climate crisis and the biodiversity crisis, it's really important that public are able to access current thinking and to feel that they're well informed and have access to that information, and it isn't kept within the university, and the museum can provide that space.
Here at Grenoble University, we want to cherish something which is the social humanities. And in fact, all our faculties are connected to each other in the H3S, so the social humanities. So medical faculty, pharmaceutical faculty, language, history, geography, all we are working together to develop some research topic and scientific all together. So for me, the botanical garden here, and especially the Japanese one with the herbal medicine, is a good symbol about this collaboration between all the faculties in the Grenoble University, because we want to involve the history of the site, the geography, and also the scientific part with how to take care of the people with traditional medicine, which is called ethnopharmacology. And we want, with this Japanese garden, to develop the collaboration with Japan, to develop the collaboration with other scientists regarding the botanical garden, and all together we want to increase the traditional medicine uses, and how tradition can be a part of the contemporary uses, and how the Japanese people with the traditional medicine, which is Kampo, succeed to put the tradition in the modernity in the hospital. And for us is a model to take care of the health of our patients, to be curious about the history and how to take care about all patients here.
Anthropology helped me to understand the problem of eco-responsibility, because usually we don't talk about that in universities or even in the herbalist schools. In the teaching, nobody talks about the resource and the endangered herbs that is beginning to be a huge problem. And with data on the field, I understand first in Himalaya, in Tibet, where I could see the species disappeared from one year to another. And then I understood that it was global, not only Tibetan, and also in France, for example, with Arnica montana, which is disappearing. And with anthropology, I could describe the phenomenon, and I could understand, and I could talk about it and prepare some teaching for sensibilization for the therapists and also for the people.
Well, many of the things that have been characteristic of botanic gardens ever since their initiation in their current form, let's say in the 18th century, 19th century, hasn't actually changed. There is still a lot of exchange of staff, there's a lot of exchange of ideas, and maybe the most visible symbol of that interchange between gardens is what nearly every garden produces, the index seminum, which it sends out, the list of seeds which it sends out each year to partner gardens. I know from my garden we send it to 250 institutions worldwide, which are free to share our resources free of charge. They don't even pay the postage, and I think that's a very clear symbol of how that free exchange of material also leads to a close collaboration even across long distances, intermittently or continuously, or however that be. But I think that the scientific community is exactly that, and how gardens work reflects that it doesn't actually matter in which country the particular garden is, that the interest, the information, the research questions are universal, and that everything associated with these aspects has to be freely exchangeable.